Good day, everyone. Today we'll be discussing about Roman civilization. And so for us to better understand how did, the city of Rome become a very powerful empire, become developed and advanced, we really have to first understand the geography and topography of the Italian peninsula. Why? Because, the city of Rome is located at the center of the Italian peninsula. The city of Rome is part of the Italian peninsula. So understanding the geography and topography of the Italian peninsula will help us to better understand the development and the advancement of the city of Rome. Okay? So now let's focus on the geography of the Italian peninsula. So the Italian peninsula, also known as the Italic Peninsula or the Apennine Peninsula, is a peninsula extending from the southern Alps in the north to the central Mediterranean Sea in the south. The backbone of the Italian peninsula consists of the Apennine Mountains, from which it takes one of its names. Now, for us to understand this slide better, we have to look at the map of the Italian peninsula. So as you can see, this is the map of the Italian peninsula, and the city of Rome is located at the center of this peninsula. And as what was being written on the previous slide, the north border of this peninsula is where the Alps mountains located, and then at the center of this peninsula is where the Apennine mountains is located. Okay, that is why since the Apennine mountains is located at the center of this peninsula, it is considered the backbone of the peninsula, and that is also the reason why the other name of the Italian peninsula is Apennine Peninsula. Okay, so we're done discussing about the geography of the Italian peninsula, and now let's proceed to the topography of the Italian peninsula, and we'll be focusing on the mountains, major rivers, and the climate of the Italian peninsula. So for the mountains, almost 40% of the Italian territory is mountainous, with the Alps as the as the northern boundary, and the Apennine Mountains forming the backbone of the peninsula. So I've discussed this already a moment ago, that's the reason why it is very mountainous, because of the Alps mountain and the Apennine Mountains at the center of the peninsula. So the major rivers in Italy or the Italian peninsula include the Po River, the Tiber River, Arno River, Rena River, and the Adige rivers. Now, let me tell you that the Tiber River is a river near the territory of the Romans. Okay, it is located at the north part of the city of Rome. Okay, so that's why Tiber River is very, very important in the history of Rome, because it serves as the source of their daily needs, source of fresh water, for example. Now, for the climate of the Italian peninsula has a predominantly Mediterranean climate with mild, sometimes rainy winters, and sunny, hot, and usually dry summers. So that's a very nice climate, right? Which helps Rome to be developed. So now let's proceed on the mythical origin of Rome, since we're done understanding and discussing the topography and the geography of the Italian peninsula in connection with the development of Rome. So mythical origin of Rome, it means to say that we're going to be talking about the origin of Rome based on myth. It's not proven based on facts. Okay, it's just a myth. So the Romans themselves told many stories about other cities' establishment. In some cases, the stories conflict with one another, but one time several figures came to dominate these accounts. The first of these focuses on Aeneas, who appears as a minor character in Homer's epic poem, the Iliad. Aeneas' son Iolaus was said to be the progenitor of one of the most eminent families in later Roman history, the Julii. This was the family of such illustrious figures as Julius Caesar and Augustus, the first emperor. So it means to say that, one of their mythical origin, or one of their belief about the mythical origin of Rome, is that the Julii family, or the descendants of Aeneas, are the founders of Rome. So yeah, that's about the first mythical origin of Rome. Okay, so now let's proceed in the second mythical origin of Rome that focuses on twin brothers named Romulus and Remus. The twin brothers decided to establish a new city on the spot where the wolf had rescued them. Almost immediately, they got into an argument over who should be the king of the new city. In the end, they couldn't settle their differences and growing anger. Romulus solved the problem by murdering his brother. Thus, Romulus became the first king of the city that came to bear his name. Okay, so yeah, this is the second mythical origin of Rome. It was said that there was a twin brother named Romulus and Remus, and they established Rome, the city of Rome. And then after establishing the city, they had a conflict because each one of them wanted to be the king or to rule the city. So the last resort of Romulus is to kill Remus, his twin brother. And so he killed him, and then Romulus became the first king of the city of Rome. And he named the city after his name. So from Romulus, the city was called Rome. So Rome, Romulus. So yeah, that's the origin of the name Rome. So we're done discussing about the mythical origins of Rome, and now let's proceed on the Rome under monarchy. It means to say that we'll be talking about the age of kings. Okay, so conventionally Roman history is divided into three distinct eras according to the type of government in place at the time. The first of these was the monarchy, when Rome was ruled by kings. This period begins with Romulus in 753 BC, and it continues until the expulsion of the last of the kings in 509 BC. Okay, so yeah, it's monarchy. It's because it is ruled by kings. So before we understand and discuss who are those 7 kings of Rome, for us to better understand the Roman monarchy, let us first understand the Etruscan influences to Rome or to Roman culture. It's because if we try to look at the map of the Italian peninsula again, the northern part of the peninsula is the location of the Etruscans. Etruscans that time is a very large civilization, and so therefore it is obvious that they are able to influence Romans. Okay, so going back to the previous slide, the Etruscans were a thriving, sophisticated civilization that dominated the northern half of the Italian peninsula. The fact that the last Roman kings bear Etruscan names has usually been interpreted to mean that at some point the growing village of Rome came to the attention of its Etruscan neighbors, and that the Etruscans imposed their rulership on the Romans. Okay, so later on I'll be discussing and I'll be introducing you who are those Etruscan kings, okay, that became king of Rome. So by that we can, immediately think that the Etruscans imposed their rulership on the Romans. Now let's discuss the 7 Roman kings. The first king of Rome was King Romulus. According to legend, the first king of Rome was Romulus, who founded the city in 753 BC upon the Palatine Hill. So yeah, Romulus founded the city of Rome in the Palatine Hill, because Palatine Hill is where he and his twin brother Remus was nursed by a she-wolf. Okay, yeah, that's it about King Romulus, because I've already discussed a lot about him in the previous slides. Now let's proceed on the second king of Rome, which is King Numa Pompilius, and said to have reigned from 715 to 673 BC. He was a Sabine origin and was credited with the formulation of the religious calendar and the founding of Rome's other early religious institutions, including the Vestal Virgins, the cults of Mars, Jupiter, and Romulus, deified Quirinus, and the office of Pontifex Maximus. So maybe you are wondering why a Sabine became a king of Rome, which is a non-Roman, right? Well, the thing is, at the time of King Romulus, Romulus, kidnapped women from the Sabines. Okay, he kidnapped Sabines women to give wives for his men because they were having scarcity or a scarcity for women at that time. And so therefore, because of that, the king of Sabines um, invaded Rome. And so there was an agreement that King Romulus and King Titus, which is the king of Sabine, jointly ruled Rome. Okay, so that is why a Sabine became king of Rome. Okay, and maybe you're wondering why Romulus became part of the early religious institutions founded by King Numa Pompilius. It's because they believe that Romulus is a son of a god. Okay, and so they believe also that after the reign of Romulus, Romulus ascended to the sky and became a god. That is why they worship him. Okay. Another information about King Numa Pompilius is that he is the son-in-law of King Titus, which is the king of the Sabines, okay, a Sabine who had ruled Rome as joint king with Romulus for a period of 5 years. So with that, we can immediately think that it is easier for this guy, which is Numa Pompilius, to become the king of Rome, since he is, connected with King Titus. Moving on to the third king of Rome, we have King Tullus Hostilius. He was known as the warlike king. The principal feature of Tullus' reign was the defeat of Alba Longa. After Alba Longa was beaten by the victory of 3 Roman champions over 3 Albans, Alba Longa became Rome's vassal state. Hostilius during his reign created the College of the Fitiales that concluded all treaties in the name of Rome. Okay, so the major contribution of King Tullus is the defeat of Alba Longa. He made Alba Longa as Rome's vassal state, and also he created the College of Fitiales, which is a college where there are priests of the Latin states concerned with the procedures and laws of declaring wars and making treaties. Now, for the fourth king of Rome, we have King Ancus Marcius. He was renowned for his excellent statesmanship, the founding of the port of Ostia, constructing the first bridge over the Tiber, and the settlement of the Aventine Hill. Okay, so those are his major contributions. And another information about him is that he is the grandson of the second king, King Numa Pompilius. So it means to say that he is still a Sabine. Okay. Now for the fifth king of Rome, we have King Lucius Tarquinius Priscus. He is the legendary fifth king of Rome and first of its Etruscan dynasty. He expanded Roman power through military conquest and grand architectural constructions. So it means to say that he is the first Etruscan king of Rome. So this is a proof that Rome was influenced by the Etruscans, by its neighboring large civilization of the Etruscans. So the reason why King Lucius Tarquinius Priscus became the king of Rome is because of his wife Tanakil, a legendary Etruscan prophet. She convinced Lucius to actually live in Rome because she had predicted that they will have a better future in Rome. So that's why they live in Rome, they settled in Rome, and then Lucius Tarquinius Priscus became the king of Rome. Next, we have King Servius Tullius. According to one tradition, Servius was Etruscan. He is the sixth king of Rome, who is credited with a servant constitution. So it means to say that he is still an Etruscan, same with the fifth king of Rome, the previous king of Rome. So he also created the servant constitution. Okay, So the two main objects of the constitution or the sovereign constitution were to give the plebeians political independence and to assign to property that influence in the state which had previously belonged to birth exclusively. And it cannot be questioned that the military and financial objects which he secured by the changes he introduced were regarded by him as of secondary importance. He had military successes against Veii and the Etruscans and expanded the city to include the Quirinal, Viminal, and Esquiline hills. He was killed by his daughter and her husband, the seventh king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus. Okay, so as you can see, the Servian constitution, which is the constitution he created, helped the plebeians to have political independence. It's because in the ancient city of Rome, there are two types of people. We have the plebeians and patricians. The patricians are the royal blood, and the plebeians are the commoners. They don't have political independence. They cannot participate in politics. But, King Servius made an effort to help the plebeians to actually, participate into government, to have political independence, okay? So he also expanded the territory of the city of Rome, but sad to say that he was killed by his own daughter and the husband of his daughter, the seventh king, King Lucius Tarquinius Superbus. So now let's proceed to the seventh king of Rome. We have King Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, the legendary seventh king of Rome and the final king of Rome. He murdered Tullius and established an absolute despotism, hence his name Superbus, meaning the proud. In the reign of terror that followed, many senators were put to death. The Tarquin family was expelled from Rome, and the monarchy at Rome was abolished traditionally 509 BC. So because he is a dictator, he killed so many senators, and because of that, senators conducted revolt against him and his family, which is the Tarquin family, which is an Etruscan family, was expelled from Rome. So that's the end of the monarchy in Rome, and then it transitioned into republic, so the Roman Republic. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for listening.